It's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? Alright, so I just finished up the grind for the LR Future Trunks a couple hours ago and just finished up the editing. I know everybody wanted to see his ability on Super Battle Road, so we're going to go ahead and test it out and see how his secondary passive of 20,000 increase to defense helps out. When he's facing 2 or more enemies, I went with level 11 for additional attack and level 15 for criticals. It just seemed to complement his passive and super attack abilities. So this is pretty much a team setup for this one. I did go with LR, Goten, and Trunks just because they provide +4 ki instead of +3, even though they only provide 100% for HP, attack, and defense. And I will switch over to the double lead Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta team setups here in a little bit, but just kind of wanted to set it up this way initially. So yeah, we'll go ahead and see how he does on the Super Battle Road against the extreme strength types. I know in the previous videos he did kick, the secondary passive kicked in, but not frequently enough to where you were able to see it often. So we'll go ahead and see. We'll go ahead and put Tapion up front just to see how much Tapion ends up taking in damage, because he does have the ability to reduce damage taken by 50%, and then we'll go ahead and see how much in damage the LR Future Trunks does. So it'll be a good way to compare the difference between the not difference between the 2 units, but how effective the Future Trunks is. My Tapion is at 90% potential, so a lot of work's been done on him, so it'll be kind of a good way to compare, not necessarily apples to apples, but kind of a similar mode, and see the ability for Trunks in terms of defending and how effective the 20,000 increase in damage will help out. So he took about 57 with the super attack, about 16,000 with the normal attack. So yeah, we'll go ahead and see how Trunks does since he is coming up. And again, every time I test out a specific unit, the other cards or units want to show off and have the additionals kick in. But yeah, I mean 1.44 million with the critical hitting for about 1.3 million. So again, I said this in the other videos, I mean probably one of the best free-to-play units, no doubt in my mind. I mean pretty much like as soon as information got released on this guy, I was already set on maxing this guy out, and I have no regrets about it. And if you're specifically free-to-play type, yeah, I mean this is probably one of the best units you can put in work on the potential system. The grind is obviously a big pain in the ass collecting 777 medals, but it's certainly worth it because he's up there in terms of the best free-to-play units. So alright, so this is, again, the secondary passive should be kicked in. It's, obviously 2 or more enemies. We'll see how these guys do with the damage output, and then see how Trunks is. So 924,000 with no criticals, and then we'll see how Trunks' damage output is, and also how his defending is. So yeah, I mean 1.1 million right there with no criticals. So I mean it's up there in terms of the high hitting, heavy hitting units available right now. So yeah, overall he's a good unit. I will say this: I did use a damage reduction item since I did have to recover HP. So in terms of that section, just now it's not as realistic. So we'll come back around for another round of his, and you'll see more of a realistic perspective as to how his defending is. And for those that, I mean obviously most people probably know by now, but Tapion does provide very good support in terms of transforming on Super Battle Road. Alright, so we did switch over to the double lead Vegetas. I included this Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku because he's also a good alternative to include on here, because he does have the ability to convert the strength key over to the agility key, so that's going to help LR Trunks get the 18 key super a lot easier. Plus he has the ability to it's either attack or defense. I'm pretty sure it was increased defense, and also recover 5,000 in HP per key collected. So pretty good support unit in terms of the specific Battle Road setup. Alright, so that's why I included him. I think another option you could include is the free-to-play turbo unit, he does also convert ki from strength to agility type, so he'll certainly help with the ability for LR Future Trunks to get that ultra attack. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much kind of FYI. Just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and keep testing and see how he does. So 864,000 with the critical, definitely more than enough output. 583, I mean, no complaints there. It's a free-to-play unit. Hits very nice, defending pretty well. 23,000 only taken in damage. So yeah, I mean, overall he definitely does help. I mean, it's not like a ridiculous amount of damage reduction for those that were expecting that, but 23,000 in damage taken compared to other units that could potentially take about 50 to 60,000 in damage. I mean, you're cutting damage taken by a third just from that. So yeah, it definitely does help conserve HP, as well as the requirement of having to use items. So obviously with the Angel Goku in the slot, you see a lot more agility orbs available. So yeah, I mean, in terms of making sure he's able to get his ultra attack, it definitely does help. And also he does have the ability to recover HP. So overall, I mean, he's a good support unit. And again, he's hitting for about 1.1 million without the critical. So just to put it in perspective, my Super Vegito is maxed out at 100%. And I think the super attack just then, he hit for about 370,000. So yeah, I mean, that's a good way to compare the power output for the Future Trunks, honestly. I will say this getting this guy to 100% out of LR Frieza and LR Goku, the free-to-play Prime Battle setups, this turnaround for this guy was probably the quickest out of all three. LR Frieza, I definitely took my time with it. LR Goku, it definitely took a lot more time too. I mean, for this Future Trunks, fortunately the drop cards were pretty frequent enough to where it wasn't that big of a deal. The only pain in the ass process was, again, the grinding for 777 medals. But once you get it done, you're done with it. So I'm glad I'm done. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to hype this shit up, but the card overall is I don't know, quickly becoming one of my favorites. Like, the card art design is nice as hell. The super attack animation's real tight, and he's also hitting pretty nicely too. So, and again, on Battle Road, he's defending pretty well. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a really nice unit. And I am going to be running through the Perfect Cell Extreme Z Battle with the Future Trunks double leads. I didn't pull on the banner yet for Future Gohan, so I don't even have him as lead. I'm thinking I'm just going to see if I can get through stage 30 with the free-to-play LR Future Trunks and see if I can, go through all the stages that are required to get Perfect Cell to level 140 and SA level of 15. Alright, so only one enemy here, and he'll just be doing his normal super attack, so it'll be a good way to kind of see how much of a difference that additional 20,000 toward attack and defense does make. So definitely less. I mean, obviously this is the 12 key versus the 18 key, but even with that, he's able to hit for about 530,000 in damage. So yeah, no complaints there. He's doing real well, and I'm glad he's at 100%. Just out of curiosity, how far into the grind are you guys? Pretty close to finishing up, or not even close to finishing? Still at the early process of it, or not? I mean, this event is probably not going to go anywhere for a little while, so you do have time to go through it and grind it. I mean, I would, since it's the what is it, stage 3 to get the actual medals to get him to LR isn't overly difficult. I think I went through it with a super tech team and never got KO'd once, so it's not bad. It's just, like I said, very time consuming, and it really is a grind. So that's the only problem with that, but it's well worth the grind. I mean, this unit is very good. So yeah, instead of taking 22,000 in damage with that 20k additional in defense, he took about 33,000. So it looks like a difference of about 10,000 difference in terms of, you know, the how much of a difference the you know, secondary passive makes, I guess. So again, you know, when all these attacks are concentrated here at the beginning, I mean, you could essentially put him there and he's probably going to be one of your best defenders. Like, obviously Caulifla could defend by dodging attacks, but that's not guaranteed, you know what I'm saying? So it's still going to be a risk to put her in front of that many attacks. So yeah, in terms of, you know, this particular rotation, I mean, you're better off with Trunks at the very beginning.